Hi, welcome to Life Change Ministry. Hi, my name is Susan Jackson, author and founder of Life Change. Today, I wanted to come on and just talk to you about what's going on with Russia and Poland. I'd like to talk to you also about what's going on with BRICS. Guys, there's so much happening today. And I'd like to follow everything up with prayer. Prayer for the nations, prayer for the leaders, prayer for those on the front lines. As we've dedicated ourselves to these 21 days, guys, I just want to encourage you to keep on pressing and pushing these 21 days. God is faithful. He is faithful to do everything that he says he's going to do. We need to just come up underneath his feet and just trust him in all things. Without any further ado, let's get started.
Sky's burning red like a warning sign. Shadows crawling closer, no time to hide. The ground shakes, the air screams. Nothing's what it seems, having crazy dreams. Fighting this end time battle through the storm and the rattles. Every step we gotta stay on track, but we don't back down. We don't look back. Wolves in suits and prophets speak in vain. Truth's a broken mirror and we bear the stains. The clock's ticking fast as the trumpet sounds, but we're still here fighting, we're still God-bound. Eyes on the storm, our hands in the air. Our Savior is coming, no time to spare. Fighting this end time battle through the storms and the rattles. Every step we gotta stay on track, but we don't back down, even if the future is black. This end time battle through the storm and the rattles. Every step we gotta stay on track, but we don't back down, even if the future is black. Ash falls like snow and the rivers run black. The devil's out of time, he wants you off track, but the flame inside us won't burn out. We'll rise from this rubble, we'll scream, and yeah!
So, just what all is going on? Well, let's check it out.
Multiple Russian drones were shot down when they entered into Poland's airspace late
This is
yesterday.
trending now.
Allied fighter jets scrambled to bring down a few of the aircrafts, but several did strike a small Polish village. Officials in the West believe it to
Okay,
be
now
a
these are drones that were sent into Poland.
provocation from Russia, but Moscow denied the incident was deliberate. Jason Gaidola joins us live with the latest tonight. Good evening, Jason.
Good evening, Melissa. This marks the first time a NATO member country fired shots in Russia's war in Ukraine. Western officials were asked about NATO's Article 5, a principle that greenlights a military response from allies. However, Poland's prime minister invoked NATO Article 4, a collective consultation to heighten European security. Polish authorities were seen covering up a drone in a town bordering Ukraine today, reportedly one of 19 military aircrafts coming from Russia. After the alleged attack, first responders began sweeping the area, which included them attending to a damaged home with plenty of debris. Local law enforcement have yet to say if there were reported deaths or injuries. The town residents are expressing their concerns.
Mam strach, czy
Poland says its fighter jets scrambled and shot down the suspected Russian drones that flew into the country's airspace late yesterday and into the morning.
Dzisiaj w nocy doszło do naruszenia przestrzeni powietrznej, polskiej przestrzeni powietrznej przez dużą liczbę rosyjskich dronów. Te drony, które stanowiły bezpośrednie zagrożenie, zostały zestrzelone.
Poland's prime minister called the incursion a violation, but the Kremlin denies the incident was deliberate, adding that its drones were meant to strike facilities in western Ukraine. Polish defense also had the backing from NATO allies, the first time an alliance has fired shots during Moscow's invasion into Ukraine. The Western alliance believed this to be a provocation from Moscow.
Article 5 applies, which is an attack against one is an attack against all. And Article 4 applies, which is once a country is attacked, that country has...
I'd like to note how Israel doesn't have the ability to defend itself. As you know, we have Macron coming to the UN meeting, but they do. They're pulling whatever they can out of the basket so that they can defend themselves. Hear me?
The ability to launch a formal consultation period about next steps.
Poland requested NATO's Article 4, and the alliance is expected to ramp up plans to address security and air defense. The military spillover is even invoking questions whether Polish authorities can even call for an Article 5, collective military action from allies.
Right now, the technical...
So what it sounds like is they're so eager to get this war started, they're calling Article 4 and Article 5 so that they can rally up the other nations, which is NATO, guys.
Data suggests, but to be verified, that this was missiles that were errant, that had been deflected by Ukrainian air defense systems, that they had been jammed. That's the best we can do now. But again, you can speculate the other way, but we have nothing affirmative.
NATO members have condemned the Russian incursion, but confirmed that they're looking into the incident.
As I said, a full assessment is ongoing. But of course, whether it was intentionally or not, it is absolutely reckless. It is absolutely dangerous. But as I said, the full assessment is ongoing. And to put it...
So basically, the general of NATO is saying that they're looking into the case. They're looking into it now. So here you have Poland saying, okay, we're calling Article 4 and Article 5. We want to defend ourselves. And NATO's like, and Poland's like, we want to call in our allies. And NATO's looking at it and they're saying, okay, let us look at it and we're going to decide what happens.
The message is clear. Stop the war in Ukraine.
The latest in Ukraine comes at the heels of talks over a potential sit-down between Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and Russian President Vladimir Putin, a meeting being pushed by U.S. President Donald Trump following his summit with Putin.
I'd like to mention, too, that Trump this whole time has been trying to bring peace. He has been trying to bring peace. He's been trying to stop the escalation of this war.
All those talks about Zelensky meeting Putin and come to Moscow, so on and so forth, that's kind of dried up now. Because that has clearly exposed, clarified, whatever you want to call it, to everybody, that the political position of Ukraine and the political position of Russia are completely at odds with one another. There is no room for compromise, and therefore the Russians are now determined to prosecute a war to defeat the Ukrainians and force the Ukrainians to accept the Russian position. They're going all out now.
Meanwhile, Trump took to his Truth Social this morning, asking why Russia violated Poland's airspace, then saying, quote, "Here we go."
At what point will Donald Trump come to the conclusion that Vladimir Putin is not a friend of the United States? He's not a friend of Western democracy. He's not a friend of the NATO alliance or the free world. He's an enemy.
I'd like to stop there. What I'd like to mention is I've heard this before. There is a guy that I watch, and I love his teachings. His name is Brandon Biggs, and him and his wife, they get on a lot. And I believe he's a prophet. He says he's not a prophet. He says he's a watchman, and that's fine. Whatever, whatever. But I'd like you to see this video clip that was taken about a year ago of Brandon talking about this very thing. And if we go by what he says, basically what he's this is just the beginning of what's going to happen with Poland. So we need to brace ourselves and we need to be prepared for the Third World War getting started. So hold on, let me pull this up for you rather quickly. Okay, and here he is. Now, he also talks about several different things. And what I want to look at here when I play this video is I want you to look at, if we see the signs of it taking place, to expect the things that follow. So check this out.
In it was a major draft. There were people going towards Europe, men and women. It was like a draft, and all these people were being called up to go fight Europe, because the Lord showed me that the war had escalated into a World War III scenario. And then I heard when I was praying, the great Apollyon is being released upon the earth. And then I saw a massive, uh, uh, like a riverbank with these like holes in the earth. And I saw a massive angelic, demonic looking angelic being, huge principality thing, came out of the ocean with two other angelic beings beside him. Now, I don't know what those were, but I heard the great Apollyon. Now,
I want to stop here because, I've been studying, in the stars, in the heavens, the signs that we have been receiving with Three Eye Atlas, with, the planets in conjunction in August, and with the lunar eclipse, and now the solar eclipse. And so with that, what I hear him saying is that there is Apollyon that's going to come from the earth, okay? And there's two other major principalities that are going to come with him. Well, that confirms what I've been studying and what the Holy Spirit has been telling me as far as Leviathan within the heavens in this eclipse that's coming on the solar eclipse is going to be right there next to Jerusalem, uh, right next to Jerusalem as the eclipse takes place. And so I've been studying Leviathan. I've been studying the Leviathan spirit. I've been praying against, this Leviathan, which you go into Revelation 13, and Revelation 13 confirms that Leviathan is the beast. He is the beast with 10 heads and 10 horns. He is the beast, right? And so, but he says there's two. And there's also two in the book of Joel. There's two principalities. There's one which is Leviathan that comes from the sea, and then there's another one that comes from the earth. And in Revelation 13, there's scriptures that quote that this other principality will come from the earth. And so I don't have my, let me pull that up for you rather quickly. Here's Revelation 13:1. And the dragon stood on the shore of the sea, and I saw a beast coming out of the sea. It had 10 horns and 7 heads, with 10 crowns on its horns, and on each head a blasphemous name. Okay? So this principality is coming out of the sea. He said he saw Apollyon, and he describes Apollyon and what Apollyon looks like here in a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and play that for you so that you can see it. And 7, Revelation 13:7. It was given power to wage war against God's holy people and to conquer them. And it was given authority over every tribe, people, language, and nation. Why am I letting you read this? Because we just had here in the U.S., we had a man of God, who represented righteousness, who represented everything that who represented law and order and righteousness die. Charlie Kirk just died. This is a harbinger. I believe in my heart. This is a harbinger of things that are to come, things that are being set in motion, things that are getting ready to come. Okay, persecution is getting ready to come big time. Hear me. And so moving on, the second beast. Okay, in Revelation 13:11, it says, "And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon." Okay, so you have one coming from the sea, this one principality, you have one coming from the earth, and then you have Apollyon. There's three. Wow, that is just so incredible. And what? Let's continue just rather quickly. "And he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. And he deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causeth all, both great and small, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or on their foreheads, and that by no man might buy or sell, save he that have the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for the number is the number of man, and his number is 666. Whew. So let's go back. Let's go back and let's hear what Brandon has to say.
I've studied a little bit, but I didn't go into depth about it, about the great Apollyon. So if you want to study it, you want to comment down below of what
which the Apollyon, John speaks about Apollyon in Revelation 9. Whew.
what the great Apollyon is to teach the other people, you can. But for time's sake, I'm not going into all that about where it is in Revelations and all that. Okay, so the great Apollyon. So then I saw a demon that was chained in a pit
Check
with
this
these
out.
massive chains on top of this devil, binding him in this pit. And I saw an angelic being, which was on the not a demonic, but it was angelic from the Lord, come down and release that demonic spirit. And it came.
So what does that tell us? That tells us that when you see an angel of the Lord come down and release it, this is in God's ordained timing. Hear me, because that was an important thing that he said.
Out of that pit, and it started. And first, I'll describe to you all what it looked like. He had a old fur, like a old Vikings outfit on, and it was like a fur that went all over his body. That was like a white, looking like a polar bear kind of hair. It was big, like goat hair.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but I'm just sitting here admiring his prayer shawl. What a beautiful prayer shawl. Aw, haven't seen that before. That, like, the Lord just took me to that. And please, if you like him, go and hear the full video. This was done a year ago. Please like and subscribe his page.
Thick, and he had a leather, like a sachet like thing, like a leather thing that went across him, and he had a Viking helmet on, like one of those horns that went up, and he had an armor. It was like an old looking armor, like what a Viking would wear with these huge horns.
I'm sorry, but there is Hebrew lettering all on that prayer shawl. That prayer shawl has authority. You can tell just by looking at it. Wow, I want one.
And his face was vicious, and he started spinning like the Tasmanian the Bugs Bunny. He was spinning like that. He was spinning profusely when he got out of that pit, and he spin and spin and spin, and he went inside Vladimir Putin area. It was like,
oh no!
I saw Vladimir Putin. I'm going to say it's like he went inside Vladimir Putin, but it's like he became possessed with this demonic entity. And he, all of a sudden, I saw him strike Poland, because Poland.
Okay. I want you to hear this again, okay? Because he said this over a year ago, guys. I want y'all to hear this again.
He, all of a sudden, I saw him strike Poland, because Poland got missiles from other countries. Something happened, and they were Poland was provoking Russia, okay, and because of war stuff and helping out with Ukraine, but there was something more to this. So all of a sudden, about Warsaw, Poland, I believe is where, by Belarus area, I saw a humongous mushroom cloud, kind of an explosion. And I said, during this visitation, when I'm seeing all this in the spirit, I said, Lord, oh no, they're going to use tactical nukes. And the Lord said, no, this is a weapon that has never been used before, ever on the earth. We've never seen this. Everything that went like a 50-mile radius or bigger is huge. This blast zone, and it vaporized everything. It went roof, and it was like it like everything disintegrated, but it didn't destroy the buildings. Okay, it just like it, and it's everybody just. It was a wicked weapon. So I saw this happen, and when this happened, I saw the World War III, and it escalated even more, like I told you was coming. And so everybody was getting involved in when this happened. Like all of Europe was getting involved in this.
So, guys, what can we expect to happen after this up and coming eclipse? We can expect these things to progress. We can expect that eventually NATO is going to join in. And we can expect that, we can expect these principalities to rise. And I believe that's what the Lord is trying to tell us within the heavens. That's what he's trying to tell us through the comets and the stars, within the woman and within the lion, up in the heavens. And I'm telling you, if you live in that area, if you live in Poland, if you're in, any area around there, you need to look at this as a harbinger, because what did Russia do? Russia sent in drones. This is a weapon too, as well, that has been used with Iran. It has been used before, but in a way, it is new technology. And this bomb is going to be evil. It's gonna wipe out everything. And so you guys need. If I were you, I would be in preparation. I would be in a state to prepare for what can come. Now, am I saying it's going to come? No, but I'm saying that it can happen. This man has predicted several things that have happened. One, I want to say President Trump being shot in his ear. It happened verbatim. And, I'd like, many people come up and say that he's not a prophet, that he's not this, he doesn't fit the bill, he doesn't fit this, he doesn't fit that. Well, boo freaking who, okay? It's not about religion. It's about a relationship, guys. And you know what? This man, he has been faithful. He is a man of prayer, I believe. And he may not get everything right, but he gets a lot right. And so, with that, without any further ado, I just wanted to lay this on your heart. I want to talk about BRICS as well, but we're not going to have time today. I will make another video about that, maybe come on live or, but how exciting to see that through his faithfulness of prayer, that God would give him this vision of the three beasts that are written within the Bible. They are in the Bible. You have Apollyon that's written in chapter 9, Revelation 9. You have Leviathan that comes from the sea, and you have Behemoth that comes from the earth. Wow. And for us as watchmen on the wall, as people who study eschatology, or if you don't, that's okay. It just gives us an upper hand as to what to pray for. And if we know what principality we're dealing with, we can pray to hold that principality back as much as we can through prayer. I believe that's our job in this hour, not only to be watchful, to alarm those, to alarm things that we see, to sound the alarm, to sound the trumpet, which is coming, the Feast of Trumpets, but to also get on our knees and intercede. And so, with that, guys, that's all I have for you today. Peace out. Know that we love you. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, hopefully, I will see you soon. Take care. Please like, please share this if you know anyone who needs to hear it, and have a blessed day. Thank you for watching. I know that for a lot of the videos on this particular videos for you to watch, they freeze. They're not up to par, but it's important that you get this message, that you get the underlying message that we as a ministry, we blow the trumpet. And my apologies, I am also under attack. My computer has got a little bug or now or whatever, so I'm going to have to go in and I will fix all that for you. But for now, forgive me. The videos do not play correctly, but I will work on it again before my next video, or I can choose not to use this program and go with the one that I use and go live. And so with that, without any further ado, thank you so much for plugging in. Thank you for your grace, and may God bless you.